you were a psycho this weekend.
I was a psycho. I was a psychonaut.
Is that what they call them?
I think they were called psychonauts, yeah.
Okay.
Psycho Las Vegas.
So this is, oh my gosh, how many, this is episode 105 of the Pod Bay Door.
Yeah.
You have gone to...
This is my third Psycho Las Vegas.
Third Psycho Las Vegas.
Yeah, and this is, now they moved it. You know, the last 2 years it was at the Hard Rock.
Right.
Which was a nice venue.
Right.
I thought. They moved it this year to the Mandalay Bay, which I remember, you know, on the last podcast, I had joked about, I'm going to open my own hotel. I'm going to call it the Ream because we're just going to fuck everybody over, you know, basically. Well, you see, that's already been done. It's the Mandalay Bay.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
and it's the MGM properties. They find any way they can to fuck you or gouge you somehow.
Okay.
For example, I was at the beach last night, and it was hot. Now they don't perform. They don't have shows at the beach until sundown, but still at 7:30 it's 95 degrees. So they've got a little store kind of there, kind of like you see at the airport, right? They've got bottled, you know, they've got a freezer, refrigerator section, and what have you.
Okay.
So I go in there and I thought, you know, I'm gonna have a beer. Why not? I'm gonna have one beer. Well, they only have one really large shot, but it's a canned beer.
Yes.
Okay, canned beer and a bottle of water, $22.49.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you know, and I thought, oh wow, gee, that made what I paid at the House of Blues, which was a beer and a bottle of water, was only $19.
Right.
I mean, I thought I got a bargain. And you know, on Saturday I went there. I wasn't going to be there very long because one of the bands I really wanted to see canceled because they couldn't get a visa.
Right.
So I only
remind me of that band.
Well, there were two. There was Rotting Christ.
Rotting Christ.
And the second one was Dune. Now, they had played last year, and they said they didn't have any problem with a visa.
Huh.
But this year, they didn't get one. So anyhow, because of that, I really only wanted to see Carcass on Saturday.
Okay.
So I didn't have to get... They played 5:30 to 6:45.
Now, let me interrupt so everybody listening can know what you get.
Yeah.
You get the 3-day deal.
I got the 3-day weekender deal, which starts Friday.
Okay.
Around noon, I guess.
Okay.
And it goes to about 12:30.
Okay.
I guess something like that. There are 3 venues. Now this year, like I said, actually there's 4 at the Mandalay Bay. There's the bigger ones are going to be the Event Center, House of Blues, and the beach.
Okay.
Plus one of their lounges, they had, I guess, some smaller bands played there.
And does this include parking?
No.
It does not include parking.
No. They gouge you every other way they could think of.
Of course.
So the $249 ticket was really $325 out the door. Each. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyhow, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. Actually, not each, because your boy went with you.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just the one car.
It was one car.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay. All right.
But anyhow, so it's 3 days.
All
now
right.
I remember when they had it at the Hard Rock. They would go on Saturday till 3 a.m. I wouldn't stay there that late, but they had bands playing till 3 a.m, but not here.
Okay.
Man, it was 12:30 and everything is shut down.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we went there Friday afternoon, Friday early evening. We got our wristband. One thing I did like is the guy asked me when they put the wristband on, they tell you not to take it off.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna have to wear it for 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, he said, "Is this tight enough?" And he left it really loose. Because he understands.
Sure.
Thank you. That's perfect. Because when I come home, I can slip it off. And then, you know. So we went there Friday. I saw High on Fire. And they were pretty good. Yeah. Then I saw Goat Whore over at the House of Blues. They were really good.
Really?
Really good. In fact, you know, it was this year I noticed it was a little bit different crowd. They seemed to me to be older and a little bit nerdier looking. I mean, for metal. Okay. There was a woman in a wheelchair just rocking out. Man, she must have been 45 years old, rocking out to Goat Whore. And then we went over to the beach, and there was I can't call him a group. There's just one guy on keyboards and a drummer named Perturbator. And he was supposed to play from 11 to 12. Well, you know, their sets, but they're like the airlines, right? The later you go in the day, there's always a little bit of delays because of getting on and off stage.
Right.
He didn't actually start till about 11:20. But at midnight, that's it. He's off.
Oh, my.
Everybody out. Go home. Or whatever. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that was Friday.
Okay.
And I took Lyft. Now, from my house to take Lyft is about $20 one way.
Okay.
So, you know, coming back, I did figure something else out for people who want to take rideshare.
Yes.
You are much better off to go over, if you're at the Mandalay Bay, don't go where it says Uber rideshare, which is down by the beach. It's mobbed.
Yeah.
Walk across through the casino over to the restaurant row area by Red Square, the headless statue of Lenin.
Lenin, yeah.
Go through the doors. That's really the Delano, right?
Yeah, the Delano, yeah.
And go to the rideshare there. There's nobody there.
The other idea, which actually I've done before, is and your driver will thank you for this because it gets him right back on the road for another ride.
Yeah,
is if you're going to Mandalay Bay for any reason, go have the driver take LVB, Las Vegas Boulevard, and have him drop you off at the subway across the street.
Oh, okay.
And then he can get right back on the boulevard. You can walk across to your Mandalay Bay or Four Seasons or Delano, wherever you're going, and you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
a lot better. A lot better.
Yeah. So Saturday, I decided to drive.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, I know what they're going to gouge. They're going to gouge me the $12 probably, because I thought I was going to be there, 4 or 5 hours. And then I realized, no, I'm only going to be there for an hour and 15 minutes for the band, maybe an hour and a half. But as I go in, they nicked me $15 because it was an event day.
Right.
So, and I thought, okay, another way they can gouge somebody. Doesn't matter if you're there for an hour.
I'm surprised it wasn't 25.
Yeah. So that was it. I said, basically, fuck you, Mandalay Bay. I'm going to take Lyft again. I'd rather give that $15 to somebody else. I don't know what people did for food there.
Yeah.
Michael Mina's got a restaurant, Strip Steak, I think it's called.
Strip Steak, yeah.
And I'm just looking at the menu because it's posted outside.
Yeah.
Side order, a baked potato, $15.
Oh, yeah.
A fucking baked potato. I mean, come on. I thought, I understand you're paying $50 for salmon. Salmon isn't an expensive fish, but nevertheless, somebody prepares it.
Sure.
This is a baked potato. What is it? So I parked $15. Hey, I could have bought a baked potato.
Yes.
Instead of parking.
Yes.
Right? I said, there it is. I'm not buying a baked potato because I had to give them $15 away to park the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you're in 3 bills.
Yep.
You've driven once. You've taken Lyft once.
Yep.
You've seen how many bands by Saturday?
By Saturday, we'd seen 4.
And Goat was the most notable.
Oh, they were good.
With the
and Carcass. Carcass was like I say, they played 2 years ago. They were really good. And then last night I went back and I saw maybe it was the best day. I saw 1349 and Deaf Heaven. Deaf Heaven was really, really good.
Okay.
And then those were both at the beach.
Now the overriding genre of Psycho Vegas is metal.
It is metal, but for example, Perturbator is more techno.
Okay.
I guess because it's all keyboards and drums. Yeah. I think you would have liked that.
Okay.
There was other
just
bands.
Me and the lady in the wheelchair.
Yeah, you go. No, she liked Goat Whore. She was in the Goat Whore. And then we saw Opeth, and they were really outstanding.
Okay.
They're Swedish, and again, it's more. They're elements of black metal.
Okay.
And heavy metal. But maybe a more refined sound.
Okay.
So you're going to find a mix of different. And then they have the old bands. They had like Bad Religion.
Now, see, I would like Bad Religion.
Yes. So they had Bad Religion and Beach House.
I don't know that.
Beach House, I think they're a duo. Okay. And they're more, I would have called it pop.
Okay.
So they have a mix.
So again, you're in 3 bills, 3 and a quarter. How many bands, if you are a marathoner.
Yeah.
How many bands will this provide for that $300?
Well, there's like a 3-ring circus.
Yeah.
Now, it was easier to go between venues at the Hard Rock because Vinyl, which is their nightclub, is right outside the doors of the joint.
Right.
Here, you had to kind of trek through the hotel. And sometimes you'll be having 3 bands all at once.
Okay. Oh, so the overlap.
They will overlap.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Now we watched Deaf Heaven, and they ended at 8:35.
Okay.
And Opeth was supposed to start at the event center at.
Is that what a TH? Is that what a TH? It's not Opus from Bloom County. It's Opeth.
Opeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry. 9:30. They played. Deaf Heaven played until 9:35. And Opeth was supposed to be 9:30 to 11 at the event center.
Okay.
So we walked over to the event center, and they hadn't started yet. So they started when, so that was perfect timing.
Right.
And then you have to go in, the security check.
Okay.
Wherever you go, and you have to go through that.
Well, let's do a rapid fire review here, and we'll do it Amazon style.
Yeah.
Value for the money.
If you're going to stay longer, I would say, again, for the ticket itself, I would say it was worth it. For me. Yeah, it was good. I had a good time.
Okay. Ease of attendance.
Also very good. It was, you come in and out. The event center was completely open. It was a little big, I think, for most of those bands. You probably only a quarter full because, again, you've got other venues that are eyeing for your attention.
So opportunity for food and drink.
Well, there's a lot of options there.
Yes.
If you want to mortgage your house.
Now, no concert food. They don't really nothing.
No,
okay.
They didn't. I mean, they had the regular buffet.
See, that's a loss of a star to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
it really wasn't. I mean, I don't know what most of those people did.
Not that you'd be slamming the hot dogs, but it's nice to have a hot dog available,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And quality of performance.
Oh, it was great. They were really good.
And lineup, I guess.
Yeah, the lineup was good. Like I said, there were cancellations, which were unfortunate because some of those were the bands I really wanted to see. So that did kind of take away from the value that I got, I thought.
Right.
The crowd itself, they were really good. I mean, people think it's metal.
Yeah.
They're rowdy. No, they're not. I mean, yeah, sure, there's moshing. But other than that, I mean, they were, they were good. They were fine. It laughed my ass off 2 years ago 3 years ago now, when I went. There was a guy there. He was a white guy with dreadlocks down to his elbows, wearing this vest that had patches all over it, including a Confederate flag across the small of his back. All right, so I saw him there last year. Saw him again, wearing the same vest.
Really?
Yeah. So this year, Friday night, Gio and I are in the merch room looking around. He goes, "Look over there," and I look. Guess who's there? Dreadlocks and the same vest. I swear to God, if he took that vest off, the body odor alone would have caused that thing to levitate. Not only did I see the guy then, we go to the beach. Who walks right by me? Dreadlocks. And yeah.
Must be a vendor, obviously.
Saturday, I only went to one performance. It was at the event center. You could sit anywhere you want. We're going to go upstairs and sit. Who walks right by us and sat 3 rows behind me? That guy.
Wow.
And then yesterday, I'm at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
He walks by again. So we see him every day,
Wow.
Yeah. It's not going to be the same if he doesn't show up.
It's probably that what was that the performer Sebastian? Oh, the hair band guy.
Oh, Sebastian Bach.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was him.
Yeah.
He's 70 now.
Yeah, he's 70 now. By the way, I've got an autograph book, his biography.
Really?
Yes, I've got a signed copy of that.
I totally made that up.
Now, I will have to say on the downside. On Friday, I'm at the beach. There were some. Those type of shows do not attract the most attractive females. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right.
That's okay.
Oh, Jesus. She was built like Bilbo Baggins, wearing a thong.
Oh,
no, don't do that.
You see, even attractive ladies shouldn't do that, but whatever.
And then there was an epidemic of plumber's crack. Guys wearing those and they're drooping down. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, chain wallets and
yeah, all them pulling their pants down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And of course, you can't go to a music venue like that without, a puke in the urinal.
Oh,
came across that.
That's fun.
Yeah, that was fun. I swear to God, Jamie, there was a turd in the urinal. I saw it. I was like, oh, Jesus. I mean, it wasn't like a full-size one, but I said, God damn it. I said, there's a turd in the urinal. And, I went back 10 minutes later, and I couldn't help. I got to look. It was gone. There was a cleaning guy right there. Oh, Jesus, somebody shit in the urinal.
They try. So, last question. Your boy, several generations below you.
Yeah.
Actually, he's on the tail end of millennial, right?
Yeah, I guess. 19, getting to be 19.
Is he Gen Z? No, he's not Gen Z.
I guess maybe
he could be Gen Z. Yeah. How did he enjoy it?
Yeah, he did. I think he had a good time.
He did. All right.
It's how we bond. That's part of the fun we have.
That's very cool. That's very cool. That's an odd thing to bond over, considering the difference in ages. But that's
and he's great. Do you want to hear? I'm not going to go there. That's too expensive. That's ridiculous what they charge here. Yeah. Capitalist pigs. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. They're killing the golden goose, Jamie. We talk about this a lot. How they wonder why, we're not getting many people. Well, let's just screw the ones we do get to come in as much as we can. And that's not how New York, you expect that. You expect to pay high prices there because it's New York.
Yeah.
But Las Vegas was always, we give stuff away to get you in here, and we'll take your money some other way, and not anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just like they just got to gouge you, and it's just not necessary.
I totally agree. Well, thanks for that. Yeah. I'm glad you had a good time.
Oh yeah.
I'm really glad, considering $3 to me is kind of a poke in the eye there, man.
I paid $150 to see Rammstein.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Rammstein and Korn, so that was just 2 bands in one day. So
there's both of those bands are to a young whippersnapper of today, they're old.
Yeah,
they're old bands.
Yeah. No, I did have a wake up call. I think I read on Loudwire today.
Mm-hmm.
A 62-year-old man died in the mosh pit at the Slipknot concert. They said he was knocked to the ground several times. He got up, and then he had a seizure and he died.
Well, sad enough. But when you go into a mosh pit, it's not like he was accidentally in the mosh pit.
No.
Now I'm worried about you, John.
No.
2 years, I'll give you 2 more years.
Well, the whole thing with moshing is that I'm not too old to mosh. I'm just too small. There's some big people in that mosh pit. Dude, holy shit. And why is it? They need to have a section at these shows that are free, if you're over 6 feet tall, you stand over here.
Yeah.
Stand over here. You're over 6 feet tall. All of you. Just like getting on the ride. You have to be this tall. No, measure it. No, you're too tall.
Yeah.
You can't stand in this section. You get over there with all the other tall people. And let people who are under 6 feet tall be able to see the stage.
Well, they should have, like the mosh bouncy house,
Yes,
where
exactly.
You aren't going to injure yourself too badly. Well, thanks for that.
Yeah.
I'm glad everybody had a good time. Again, next year?
Oh,
gonna go?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
okay.
It depends on the lineup. But this year I thought the lineup was better than last year.
And the band that didn't show, you really were disappointed?
Rotting Christ.
Rotting Christ.
Yeah, and Dune. I really wanted to see Dune also.
Okay.
They were from Rotting Christ is from Greece.
Yeah.
Dune is from Scotland. There was also a band from Finland that couldn't get a visa in time. Don't know why. So that was 3. Then Megadeth canceled.
Yeah.
So they had the Misfits was the replacement, which I thought was a poor choice.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to watch Republican punk rock.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah. I can feel my mother laughing right now. The Spinners, the Platters, and then we progress to Goat Whore and Rotting Christ. Yes. So part 2, John, of the hotels, casinos, amusements, locations that never were. They tried. They tried very hard.
Yeah.
Harley Davidson.
Oh yeah.
Has had, of course, the Harley Davidson Cafe, which is no longer.
No. What's there now? I can't think of what's there now.
It's the country bar, country crap.
Oh.
I will remember by the end of the show. Harley Davidson Hotel and Casino. It was, of course, going to be produced by Harley Davidson. As most people know who are Harley fans, they're up and down, with their stock prices.
Yeah.
And they are definitely a luxury item for most, and they have hard times. They during this period when they were trying to do this, they fell in some hard times. But the hotel was supposed to be, and they actually had drawings, and they announced the drawings and had a press conference.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be the hotel itself would look like giant exhaust pipes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those would be the towers?
Those would be the towers. Yes, those
see.
would be the towers. Never built.
See, now they could have had it. They could have had an observation wheel, and that could have been like the wheel of the chopper.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. They actually made a Harley Davidson beer. I drank it in Japan.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it reminded me of I now I know how they recycle their motor oil.
Well, the next one is interesting to me because my wife's family invested themselves into this. The Jockey Club. Now, the Jockey Club, also Polo Towers, they're both the same company. They are timeshares.
Yeah.
And if anybody knows about timeshares, they are enormous ripoffs.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of them once you get them, and they're just stay away from them. If you can get a timeshare thing and get a little presentation and get free shows and crap here in Vegas,
that's what I used to do.
Do that, but just tell them no. So the Jockey Club had this interesting relationship with, they were supposed to have the Jockey Club Casino. Now, they already have a hotel.
Yeah.
So they were going to build a casino on basically the address they list was 3700 South Las Vegas Boulevard. They actually went so far as to have chips made, which I can't find one. I have a chip collection that is actually quite impressive, and I can't find that one to save my life. So, but the interesting thing about the Jockey Club is that they are just miserable bastards about their relationship to Las Vegas and Las Vegas Strip and their fellow casino hoteliers. They are directly attached to the Cosmo. And when it was time to share driveways and share portico shares and valets and things like that, they gave everybody the big finger and said, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Well, so Cosmo, instead of halting construction, just forged right ahead. And if you've been here, you'll know that in a little tiny back hallway, you can park in the Cosmo and then walk into the Jockey Club timeshares. And it's the smell in the hallway is lovely.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but they basically just built right around them. Now you can park in another location of the Jockey Club and go in, but you can't get there through this nice parking without going through this awful hallway. Now the next thing they built was the Polo Towers, but again, no casino involved.
Yeah.
So they're just a standard timeshare. My wife's father actually owns New Year's Eve with a couple of rooms and still has a hard time getting rid of them.
Now the Polo Towers was there before, though, right? Wasn't that a hotel that was there?
Yes.
Yeah.
They renovated
and
it.
when we worked at the Venetian, there were 3 cases of Legionnaire's disease.
Right.
That was at the old Polo Towers. And you remember there used to be, I think it was Boardwalk. They had a roller coaster. It didn't work, but it was just a model of a roller coaster or something outside. It was really old, and it got bulldozed when they built Park Place there, but the Cosmo. But yeah, wasn't it called the Boardwalk?
Oh yes. Yeah. Boardwalk. Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn.
It was a Holiday Inn.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the next one, and you'll bear with me, John, is called Cactus Kate's with 2 K's. Already bothers me.
KK.
Yeah, Cactus with a K.
Like the Copper Keg.
Yeah, Copper Keg, yes. Good place, though. Good place. They have an amazing Stromboli.
Yeah, even a guy
that neither one of us eat anymore.
Fiera, mentions that.
Oh, that's right. With Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Yes,
because he went to UNLV.
Yeah, exactly. And Jimmy Kimmel mentioned it, too.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he's a Las Vegas vet.
Yes.
So the Gold Coast, the Coast hotels and casinos used to be owned by Michael Gaughan. I believe Michael's not with us anymore.
Oh, is he gone?
Yeah, is he gone? His last name is Gaughan. Gone.
Yeah.
He was interested in building a hotel casino in North Las Vegas. Already a bad idea.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
That's not bad.
And specifically on the corner of Rancho Drive and Cary Avenue. If anybody is out there listening that lives in Las Vegas, that is a terrible place.
Yeah.
That is a terrible, terrible neighborhood.
Yeah, it is.
In 95, the following year, the city, they did all the right paperwork, and the Planning Commission approved the rezoning of the land for this hotel casino. And it would be named Cactus Kate's. That was the original name and always the same way. And it would be built by Gold Coast, what do they call themselves? Gold Coast Hotel Casino Limited.
Yeah.
450 rooms, 105,000 square foot casino. Later, for some reason, decreased to 102,000. I think it was because the zoning only approved that much. And it would be located right next to, again, in the north area, Fiesta and Texas Station.
Ugh.
Both of which are awful.
Yeah.
Both of which are awful. Terrible neighborhood.
They got a Fiesta here in Henderson. It's a dump.
Yes.
It's a dump.
Yeah. And it's not.
I go in there now and then. I meet somebody, in the sports book. We'll have a beer or something.
Yep.
And they got movie theaters in there or whatever. But
So, and this will tell you how long things take. That was 95.
Yeah.
3 years later. 3 years, no movement. And they finally get from the Planning Commission a use permit relating to that land and that property. And then in 2000, 2 years later, you can tell it just crawls along in Las Vegas unless you have major money like MGM. The Planning Commission again approved a 2-year extension on the permit because the Gons were having financing problems. Well, here it happens again. The neighborhood. Now, this is really interesting to me. The neighborhood, which is not a good neighborhood.
Yeah.
Now, the people are great, but it's just a bad neighborhood here. They said no. They said, we don't want this, and they went on a full-bore attack to get rid of this.
Kill Cactus Kate?
Yeah, kill Cactus Kate, exactly. Exactly. Then, the nail in the coffin, seemingly now, was the hotel would measure over 100 feet high, which fell directly in to the opposition of the FAA.
Oh,
so they got 2 big strikes. The FAA said no, too high, and so they had to redesign. Okay,
100 feet or 1,000?
It says 100 feet.
Huh.
100 feet too high.
Oh, I see.
100 feet too high. Yeah. Yes. Now so that was their nail in the coffin, but the Gons are always pretty good. They're really good local hotel people.
Yes, right.
And so in 2001, they decided to bail on Kate, on old Cactus Kate, and sold it to Station Casinos.
Oh,
yeah, for 29 acres, for $9 million, which is a steal.
Yeah. How much did they buy it for? Do you know?
Let's see. What did that? $9 million.
Oh,
yeah. Station Casinos grabbed up the 29 acres, and there were no structures on it at the time for the $9 million. Reading through here, blah blah, and Santa Fe Station. It was just going to be okay, and then Stations. They announced a property to be named later.
Okay.
That's literally how they phrased it. Had a press conference and said that they had acquired this from the Gons, from Coast Properties, and then sold it to a non-gaming entity. And it sits empty to this day.
How much did they sell it for? Did it say?
That did not say.
Oh.
So I'm sure, knowing Stations, it was more than $9 million.
Yeah.
So Cactus Kate, to this point, in all the things that have tried and failed, that was the thickest description. Now, this is an interesting one. Las Vegas Plaza, not the Union Plaza.
Yeah, not the Crown.
Correct. Not the. So this was modeled after the Plaza Hotel in New York City.
Okay.
Which I have been to many times. It was announced shortly after the demolition of the Frontier Hotel.
Yeah.
And the Las Vegas Plaza was canceled in 2011 due again to the Great Recession.
Oh.
Yes. Did we name that?
No.
I don't understand how they're using that funny name there. It's not funny. It's terrible.
As bad as it wasn't as bad as the real depression of the 1930s. So great. Again, you're asking a qualifier, and that's a matter of an opinion.
Yeah. Now this is one that I knew about because I knew of a contractor that was involved in this.
Yeah.
This was the London Resort and Casino, not the London Club that was in the Aladdin.
Right.
Yeah, which also crapped out.
Right.
London Resort and Casino was announced that was going to be a London theme, of course.
Yeah.
Featuring all replicas of all the city's landmarks.
Yeah, Big Ben was going to be there.
Big Ben. Yes, all of them.
Where was it going to be built?
The project was to be built on the land across from the Luxor.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Which essentially, if everybody, all the visitors know out there, and for those of you who don't know, there is a collection of dirtbag motels.
Yeah.
The best of which, and I have a warm spot in my heart, is the Laughing Jackalope.
Oh, yeah,
which essentially is not there. Signage is there, but the jackalope really isn't there anymore. No. And then of course it was the one. Oh, why am I forgetting this? With the swimming pool out front.
Oh yeah. The white something, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was supposed to be right there.
Yeah.
And it was also. This is what happened. Often happens in Las Vegas is that two will open up with the same thematic.
Yeah, we saw that with
And this is what happened to London.
Huh.
Another one was supposed to be another London-themed casino was supposed to open on the site of the El Rancho.
Oh.
The doomed El Rancho.
Yeah.
It's Howard Hughes, I'm telling you. It's the ghost of Howard Hughes.
Must be.
and neither place began construction. No, not even any plans. Let's see here.
Is the Tam O'Shanter still there? I think it is.
The sign is.
Yeah, the sign. I mean, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Seeing that hat spinning around on the pole.
Right. Now here, this is where people always ask me. We had 2 Ferris wheels.
Yeah.
The defunct Ferris wheel that never made it was part of the London Las Vegas project, and it was referred to as a Sky View, and it was partially constructed, and then it was called Phase 1 of London Las Vegas, and there was actually a sign there that said that for many months. And that, of course, we just described. It did not happen, but the supports are still there. So yeah. Now the Montreux, Swiss themed. It was to be built on the New Frontier.
Everything can be built on the New Frontier. And it's a good location. It had a really good location. Oh, a pretty good location.
This one seemingly has the distinction of having the shortest lived announcement.
Oh.
It announced on the beginning of the week on a Monday in, 1991. And at the end of the week, it was closed.
Oh, well, that was fast.
Yes, it was. Because a Swiss-themed hotel casino. I don't know. It's not going to be a destination resort except for the Swiss. Okay, now this one I've been waiting for. Because we both we love Bob Stupak. This has nothing to do with Bob Stupak, but Bob Stupak, by the way, John and I are always mentioning him. He's the one that had
Vegas World,
and
before that he had Golden Slipper.
Yeah, and that Vegas World, of course, became the
museum. He had a bogus $10,000 bill in his museum, and then it caught fire.
Yes,
and we all kind of know Bob set the fire.
And Bob was always really happy to have his thinly described relationship with the mob.
Yeah. We saw him at the opening of the Venetian. There was flower displays, and there was this ugly, gaudy looking thing. And I said, "Oh, geez, look at that! Where did that come from?" And one of them, I looked at it, and it just said "Shelley Mazel Tov, Bob Stupak."
Oh, Bob. So the Moon Resort and Casino was proposed by a Canadian developer, and apparently it's the only one that's ever been proposed by our folks from up north. No other Canadian money has ever come into town. So this article says.
Interesting.
Yeah. His name was Michael Henderson. A 10,000 room,
small,
250-acre lunar-themed casino resort.
Oh,
yes. Now I'm going to read this directly. Gaming experts doubt it will ever be built in Las Vegas simply because the space planned for it is too large for the Las Vegas Strip.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, 10,000 rooms,
10,250 acres.
Wow.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I know. So the Moon Resort Casino. So our friends up there in Canada. Okay, the Nevstar 2000. Proposed by Nevstar Gaming in 1998.
Yeah.
Then in 2000, the entertainment complex was confirmed to be built in Las Vegas and would have a hotel and casino. But of course, what happened? The neighbors aren't happy. And they didn't want it in the area. And it's interesting though how the power of our neighborhoods. But even more so, I think Nevstar maybe was a little bit, there was a little dirty deals going on because right after they lost their battle with the neighborhood, they filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So Nevstar 2000, I had never heard of that one, but before here.
No, I hadn't either.
The North Coast. In Coast Casinos again.
Yeah.
And
they really, of course, they've always scraped the bottom of the barrel with the Gold Coast.
Yes.
The Barbary Coast had a great location. I always said if I could own any hotel on the Strip, this was back in the day.
Right.
It would have been the Barbary Coast. Well, I said, look, it's a dump. It's got a great location and it's paid for.
Right.
You don't have $1 million a day overhead you have to make like the Venetian was.
Right.
You have a great location there at the corner. Was it Flamingo, I think?
Yeah.
And the Strip, and it was old, but it catered to to people that didn't want to get nickel and dimed all the time.
Right. Now, the North Coast, at the time of announcement, was in the control of Boyd Gaming.
Oh, okay. Like
so
Samstown and...
Yeah, exactly. So that was another local, and the Boyds are still here, of course.
Yeah.
And then in 2006, it purchased the site, and they're trying to build Lamb, Centennial and Lamb. Not as bad, but way out there.
Yeah.
And the Boyds have always really tried to provide local entertainment complexes. Yeah. So in 2006, purchased a 40-acre site for $35 million. Jackie Gone, Michael's brother, were the owners of the land. Lots of this is old school Vegas here. They had not decided on whether the new project would be on that property. It would be similar to Sam's Town.
Oh, okay. Sam's Town is actually rather nice. I rather like Sam's Town. Yeah. I mean, for what it is.
But a year later, it was put on hold, and the Boyds were trying to secure construction permits. That didn't happen. And they reviewed it one more time. The construction was scheduled to begin mid-2007. But by 2013, the Boyds sold the underdeveloped property for... Wow. Okay, now this is interesting. So they bought the 40-acre site for $35 million from the Gons, and then in August of 2013, sold the undeveloped property for $5.15.
Oh.
So yeah, that was a painful little project.
Well, somebody's got 2 acres. They got kicked in the nuts.
Right. Wow. Of course, was that during the Great Recession? Okay, here's another one. Las Vegas loves to have nautical and sea-themed.
Yeah.
Palace of the Sea Resort and Casino. This was supposed to be built, which is funny, on the former Wet and Wild water park site.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, they had all the pipes there.
Right.
And the plumbing's all the same.
There were conceptual drawings made, which included a yacht-shaped tower.
Oh, God.
Which wouldn't have been... It
wouldn't have been...
falling over.
Going down like the Titanic,
right. And it was supposed to house all suites and a casino resembling, the Sydney Opera House.
Oh.
Plus, and again, this is interesting, a third 600-foot Ferris wheel.
Oh. Because one thing the strip doesn't have enough of are Ferris wheels.
Dubbed the Sky Wheel. Obviously, Skyview, Sky Wheel. We can't seem to, conceptualize this. And of course, it never left the planning stages.
No, of course not. These are all wet dreams, really.
And okay, here we go. Paramount, Las Vegas.
Oh.
1,800 units. That was planned by the Royal Palms Las Vegas, a subsidiary of the Royal Palms community. I don't know anything about them. It was to replace the Klondike Hotel and Casino.
Oh yeah, the Klondike.
Yeah, a classic here at the south end of the strip.
Yeah.
Over Laughing Jackalope.
Yeah.
Klondike. It's all there.
Yeah.
In fact, Klondike was I think their most notable thing. I believe that was where they filmed the buffet scene for Vegas Vacation.
Oh. I'll have some of the green.
Yes, some of the green, some of the blue. At the south, beside the Las Vegas welcome sign.
Oh.
Now, it's easy to say that.
Yeah.
A lot of things are by the sign.
Yeah.
It was approved in October of 2006, but an investor pulled out of the project in 2007, and in 2008, the land was sold. It happens just that quick.
There are hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of planning that goes into this.
I know.
And, money spent, and all of a sudden just said, it's just another pipe dream.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was it.
I found a couple also. There was one here.
Okay, go for it.
Did you hear about this one? It was the Elvis. The $3.1 billion project south of Planet Hollywood.
That's with a B as in boy, right? Billion?
Billion, yes.
Wow.
Was going to have 2,200 plus rooms and a 93,000 square foot casino.
Sorry.
Like Echelon Place, it got hit by the 2008 recession.
Great.
Oh, the Great Recession, right. There was also supposed to be, of course,
yes.
I think we talked about it before, the WWF. I think it was before it was the WWE.
Yeah.
And also one I had not heard of, Addams Family themed hotel.
Well, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were going to have there. And finally, a Star Trek Enterprise. In 1992, designer Gary Goddard wanted to build a full-scale version of the USS Enterprise in downtown Las Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not practical.
No.
Not practical.
Full scale.
So that was it for part 2.
Yeah.
We are going to open up on part 3 with the Pharaoh's Kingdom.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. And we'll have such notable things as Planet Hollywood, Playboy, Santa Fe, Shenandoah, Starship Orion. Yes.
Oh, not the Starship Enterprise. No.
Titanic.
Which,
yeah. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Well, that was Bob Stupek's idea.
And one of my favorites, I wish it was still here. I wish it ever made it. Wally's Wagon Wheel.
Oh.
Yeah. So come back please come back for part 3 of hotels, amusements, and casinos that never were.
Yeah.
And they tried so hard. They tried Ferris wheels. They tried North Las Vegas.
How's the one Ferris wheel we do have? How's that doing?
You know, the High Roller, I have ridden it as a patron.
Yeah.
I have photographed it for contract. I have photographed a faux party in it so they could sell their bars that are inside there. It is exactly what it is. It is a great view of the Strip for 30 minutes.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, for what you get.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you go on those roller coaster rides like the one at New York.
Uh-huh.
Man, it's over in 2 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Less than that. And here you got 30 minutes. It's slow and I rather liked it. You know, I just don't know how popular it is.
You know, it's pretty popular. You know, and then of course they open themselves up for corporate parties and all different types of things. I think it's still quite popular. It's a novelty that people. It's a sort of a must see. You don't have to go on it to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And of course, it kind of forces you into that sort of shopping food complex that's right there with it. So it's enjoyable. It's a Ferris wheel. It's the eye.
Yeah.
You know. It's but they keep trying them.
Yeah.
It's the only one that survived of 3. But yeah, the Great Recession, the neighborhoods, the Ferris wheels, the nautical themed. We've tried everything. Star Trek.
Yeah.
And we always come back down to the same thing. You know, it's always going to be country based.
Yeah.
Swiss, notwithstanding.
Yeah.
But you know, it's the part 3 has got some interesting ones. It's world coverage. And as we progress down the alphabet, you'll see a lot of attempts at new locales, but just continually failed. And I think ultimately it fails because of the financing. I think the money is just, and the one guy was too big. You know, although I think there's bigger now. You know, there's you know the echelon. You know, square mileage is huge, and of course the Fountain Blue was, you know, and we'll see what happens with those.
Well, I mean, what were they thinking also in the sense? And I'm sure some of these places we're all talking on the same site, right, in Frontier or whatever.
Right.
But did they really think that it was sustainable, that we could have that many people, you know, in addition to what we have now? Right. Would be, you know, that they'd be able to fill up another, you know, 15,000 hotel rooms or whatever.
Right.
You know, and you have to realize you come to a point where if you aren't getting repeat people coming, the only way you're going to stay in business is if somehow you get everybody in the world, quite literally, to come here once.
Yeah.
And otherwise, you are, you know, you are relying on people from Southern California to come on weekends and wherever, come multiple times, and you're not going to do that by the horse shit that I saw. You know, at the Mandalay Bay, where you're $15 for this and $10 for that, and it's a beer is, you know, in a can beer is, you know, $14. It's you know, you're not going to get people coming back.
Well, the bean counters in town, they're shaking in their boots because what's happened is something they weren't prepared for. They weren't prepared for this nebulous cloud of people, this new generation that is now deciding on a knee jerk what is cool, what's not cool. Victoria's Secret, not cool anymore. You know, they're not body whatever.
Yeah.
And
so what is cool? A chick with built like Bilbo Baggins wearing a thong. Is that it? Oh.
Whatever it is, whatever this group that no one can define. They're deciding what's cool, what's not. And what they're afraid of in Las Vegas is, oh my gosh, what if gambling no longer is cool?
Yeah.
What if gambling is not only just not cool but bad?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what a lot of these giant companies are suffering right now. That and ransomware.
I think one of the problems they have also is that unlike in the past, I'm sure a lot of the people making decisions don't live here, or they haven't spent much time here.
Right.
They don't have the background like the Gons, Bob Stupak. You know, they don't have that.
Right.
Even, you know, I'll grudgingly say Steve Wynn, because at least he's been here for, 20, 30 years now.
Yeah.
But you find out that, there are other ways to make money. I mean, I did not see very many of the metalheads playing cards now because they're going to music, but just don't, screw people over with Nick, squeezing every last dollar.
I think the good news. I think the good news for the people that live here, for you and me and all of our colleagues and friends and families that live in Las Vegas, I think that the only response. This is a knee-jerk response. They're charging $15 or $20 for a baked potato and $15 flat fee for parking, all this crap. I think that is the first to go.
Yeah,
I think they are going to realize, holy crap, we need our locals first, and then they're going to talk about the people coming in. They're in my opinion, they're in a panic. They're not going to let anybody know that. Yeah. And of course, the Wall Street is absolutely not going to let anybody know that. But they are in a panic because everybody's in a panic. The used to be, Cox and all the major media conglomerates, they were king of the world. And now what happened? Well, TV's not cool.
Yeah.
Streaming's cool. Mobile's cool.
Yeah.
And see that again, this group again has said what's cool, what's not cool.
Yeah.
And I think one of these days that if they're not prepared, someone is going to say, "Oh, Las Vegas. Nah, we don't want to go there anymore. That's not cool."
No.
And that's scary. That's scary. I don't know if it's scary for us. It's scary for certain industries. It's a little scary for mine.
Yeah.
Because of all the work I do for them. But it'll be very interesting to see the growth that is forced upon our town, Well,
having traveled in a lot of foreign countries, the one thing I will say is wherever I've gone, people know about Las Vegas. Now, they could have heard of Chicago, and they can't tell you anything else about it. Mm-hmm. Chicago, well, I mean, New York, sure, they can tell you Empire State Building, or they can say something. Chicago, again, I'm talking about people like in the Philippines. You get out, maybe they heard of Chicago. I don't know quite where it is, but Las Vegas, oh yeah, they sure as hell know Las Vegas. And they know gambling, and they know the name of a hotel or something like that.
Right.
So, you have to make, you always had to make it so that it was cool. And again, older people, and I mean older, I'm going to say over 45, they're the ones that have, probably more money. They're the ones that would want to come back. So they remember the older Vegas. They're not used to paying $15 for parking.
Right.
Or $12 or whatever it is. And, they're going to be turned off saying, fuck that, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I reserved time right at the end here for one question, because we haven't done questions in a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to catch up with those in the next couple of Pod Bay Door podcasts.
Good.
Somebody asked me the state bird and state tree of Nevada.
Oh.
Do you know them? State bird.
State bird.
We have a state bird.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The mountain bluebird.
Oh. As long as it's not a mockingbird.
No.
I hate those little bastards.
Now we have a dual for the state tree.
Yeah.
We share the mantle. It's the single leaf pinyon and or the bristlecone pine.
Oh.
Bristlecone pine absolutely deserves it because of the length of time it lives.
Yeah.
In the thousands of years.
Yeah.
But Brad from hold on, where was Brad from? I had a note. Brad from San Francisco.
Oh.
He could have looked that up, but I'll be glad to tell you. But the mountain bluebird and the bristlecone pine. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But everybody, thank you so much for listening to John and I ramble on about these bygone casinos here. Part 3 is coming up, and we will finish up the list. We'll talk about things that never happened. Hopefully we'll have a review of something that John and I do in the next week, and we'll bring you that as well. But part 3 casinos and projects that never happened. Hope you've enjoyed part 1 and part 2. Thank you so much for joining John and I this week, and we will see you very, very soon. Thanks to everyone listening and watching. You can catch the Pod Bay Door on the Podbean app or any of your favorite podcast apps, including iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and Stitcher Radio. You can watch the show on our YouTube channel at the Pod Bay Door Podcast. Please download, like, and subscribe. Our social connectivity screen is coming up. Check in with us on Facebook, Twitter, and WordPress. The Pod Bay Door is closed and... Hey everybody, thank you very much for tuning into the show. We would love to hear your show suggestions and comments. If you are watching on our YouTube channel, please click to subscribe. You can also connect with us on Facebook using @PBD Podcast, on Twitter using @TPBD Podcast, and on WordPress at thepodbaydoor.wordpress.com.